morning, everyone, and welcome to day 3 of National Graduate Week. I hope everyone's doing well this morning. I'm your host, Andy from Career Map TV, and it is great to have this session collaborated with Chatteris, where they'll be deep diving into what it's like to work for the company, as well as the opportunities they have to offer to work for them. Remember, if you do miss anything, this session is recorded and it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel and our website within the coming days. There's also a Q&A at the end of the session. So if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat and Q&A box, and we'll return to them at the end of the session for the Q&A. So without further ado, I'll pass on to the Chatteris guys to continue with their session. There we are.
Thank you. So welcome everybody to our presentation today on the Chatteris International Graduate Programme. So I am Lucy, Chatteris's Recruitment and Marketing Manager, and I'm joined by Luke, who is our Sustainability Programme Manager. So today we're going to be having a look into life in Hong Kong with Chatteris, how you can be the difference that inspires young minds, and also where our opportunities can take you. So our graduate opportunity gives you the chance to spend a year after your graduation on an adventure. You get to explore new cultures, both in Hong Kong and surrounding areas, and you get to make a positive social impact. You'll gain valuable transferable skills and also make international friends for life. We have a really big mix of nationalities on our cohort each year. I think this year we have 14 different nationalities. And the year previously, we had 20 different nationalities. So you'll meet people from all around the world. So first up, I want to share a video with you. So instead of playing the video kind of in the slides, which can sometimes be difficult, we're sharing a QR code on the screen, which will take you to a YouTube video, which is a week in the life of a Chatteris tutor. And so this is filmed by Ivan, who you can see in the pictures. He's the one in the right, in the top picture. And he takes you along for a week in the primary school that he worked in Hong Kong. You'll get to see what he was up to in the classroom, what kind of activities he did, and also what he did outside of working hours as well with others on the programme. So we'll leave that up on the slide for a moment. You can scan that QR code and then you'll be able to watch that after the presentation. As Andy said, this will also be recorded, so you can come back and have a look at it afterwards if you miss it this time. And then we'll start with some introductions. So as I said, I am Lucy. I'm Chatteris's Recruitment and Marketing Manager. And I graduated in 2018 with a degree in English from Newcastle University. I then worked in a careers and professional development team. And then in 2021, I moved to Hong Kong and joined Chatteris as a secondary English tutor. So I have done the programme myself. I have been a tutor myself, and it means I'm really well placed to answer any questions that you may have about our graduate opportunity in Hong Kong. From 2022 onwards, I then started as the Recruitment and Marketing Manager.
Hey everyone, I'm Luke and I'm Chatteris' Sustainability Programme Manager. I started my journey graduating from University of Nottingham in 2020 with a degree in archaeology and geography. Definitely not very teaching related, but I decided to veer into teaching and come to Hong Kong in 2020 as a secondary English tutor, which I then progressed on to being a senior secondary English tutor, and now I am the Sustainability Programme Manager with Chatteris since 2022.
Thank you, Luke. So in today's presentation, we're going to have a look at who we are, some reasons for you to work abroad and gain international experience. We're then going to have a closer look at our graduate programme, where Chatteris can take you, and the process of moving to Hong Kong. And then we'll finish up at the end with how to apply and some tips to make your application stand out. So who are we? Chatteris is a registered charity that exists to support young people in Hong Kong with their English language learning. And we were founded in 1990, so we've been pursuing our mission for over 30 years now. Our mission is to raise the English proficiency and the self-confidence of Hong Kong's young people, particularly the less privileged. And we do this through dynamic interactions with English-speaking graduates, such as yourselves, working in creative partnership with local Hong Kong schools. And why do we do this? Why do we have the mission that we do? So Hong Kong has one of the largest wealth gaps in the developed world, and nearly 50% of all students can't access university because of their English grades. And this is due to access to English education and the requirement to achieve a certain level in English, regardless of university course studied or which university the students want to go to. So they could be looking to study Chinese at a Chinese-speaking university, but they still need to achieve a certain level in their English exams at the end of school. And only 7% of underprivileged students get accepted into university. So English is a requirement for many jobs in Hong Kong as well. We know that university isn't the only route to success, but it really is a requirement in this kind of global and developed city where for a lot of professional, service industry and retail jobs, English is required. So we want to aim to prevent English and English skills from ever being a barrier to Hong Kong students in whichever path they are looking to go down and whatever they see as success. And how do we do this? How do we work towards our mission? So as a Chatteris English tutor, you would inspire young minds by creating a really enriched English language learning environment. And this means students can grow and cultivate their confidence through fun and engaging and interactive activities. And we deliver this by considering the 5 C's of Chatteris. So these are 5 core values that all members of the organisation strive to carry forward in all of the work that we do. These are compassion, commitment, cultural exchange, collaboration, and creativity. So in addition to kind of carrying forward these values in all of the work that our current staff do, we are also looking for evidence of these 5 C's in our graduates that we recruit for our programme. So on the slide, you can see some examples of places where you can demonstrate Chatteris's 5 C's to really make your application stand out. So for compassion, you can show evidence of supporting others, particularly underprivileged or underrepresented groups, undertaking voluntary work, or showing where you have gained mentoring or leadership experience. For commitment, you can show dedication to your studies or previous professional roles, and show that you have really committed to your application by researching Chatteris and Hong Kong. For cultural exchange, evidence of this, you can complete language or cultural courses, or perhaps if you've studied or worked abroad, or taken part in any exchange programs. These are all great examples of cultural exchange. For collaboration, evidence would be things like delivering projects as part of a team or taking part in a club or activity whilst at university. And then for creativity, you can have examples of solving problems or challenges creatively, or creating art, digital content, music, literature. There's loads of different things that kind of fall under that creative umbrella. And as I said, these are all great places for you to demonstrate evidence of those 5 C's and show that you really would be the kind of ideal candidate for the Chatteris International Graduate Programme. And then, as I mentioned, we've got some benefits of international experience. So what can you gain from starting your international career journey? So you can show compassion and dedication to global issues by working with underprivileged and underrepresented groups in Hong Kong. You'd be demonstrating commitment and initiative to move to a new country and start a new international career journey. You get to explore exciting and new cultures and expand your international network. So as you saw at the beginning, we have a huge range of nationalities represented at Chatteris, which means you get to meet people from all over the world and really develop your collaborative working style. And you'll also have many chances to grow your creativity and problem-solving skills. I think every day in the classroom and every day as a Chatteris English tutor, you'll need to creatively solve problems and think on your feet. So I'm now going to hand over to Luke to talk about our Chatteris International Graduate Programme in more depth.
Yeah, thank you, Lucy. So I'll just go over what the CIGP is exactly. So the Chatteris International Graduate Programme, and you can see there when teaching English abroad isn't just teaching English abroad. There's a lot more that we can offer here in Hong Kong. So what is it? Well, the program basically is a paid 9-month program where you'll be placed in a local Hong Kong school, primarily teaching underprivileged students. This program takes place from August 2024 to May 2025, with August being a 3-week orientation period where we will fill you in on the main teaching principles and what it's like to teach in Hong Kong, as well as any other skills that you may need for teaching in Hong Kong. On top of this, we provide monthly training and in-school support from your assigned program manager, who will come in to observe your teaching and help you further develop your teaching skills and assist with any other matters, whether it be in work or any of the volunteering and community programs experiences that we also offer. So who are these tutors? Well, when tutors come to Hong Kong in August, you already are connected to a network of 60 other recent graduate tutors. So as an undergraduate or postgraduate program, we're employing a variety of people from all over the world. As Lucy mentioned earlier, I think it was 20 different nationalities. And yeah, this means that you have a thriving social community where Chatteris can also support you with events, clubs, sports teams, and much more. So what is teaching in Hong Kong like? Well, obviously, we do not expect everyone who comes to Hong Kong to have a teaching degree. You can come to Hong Kong with any degree, really, as long as you show our core values. And we will bring you up to speed through our orientation, which is kind of an intensive 3-week training program to get you feeling a bit more confident and prepared for your first day teaching in the classroom. So this generally follows the TEFL approach, but you'll also get more experience teaching firsthand during this orientation period, where we'll partner with local schools in Hong Kong, so you can get that first experience before you go and step into the classroom. On top of this, you will also receive training every single month through our professional development program, but we can also foster your development through undertaking MOOCs, which are massive online courses, or I don't know if that's the right acronym, but yeah, we will help fund you with extra training, whether if you want to get a TEFL, or we even provide some funding for CELTAs as well. Additionally, you also can provide extra support we can provide extra support from your program manager. So if any problems arise during your time in Hong Kong, we will support you with anything that may or may not happen. So what exactly is your role? So you will be placed in a local Hong Kong school, as mentioned earlier, trying to bridge the gap between the English speakers and the global Hong Kong community, and the underprivileged students who may not get as much support, who may not have extra access to English speaking. So you'll work alongside the local English teaching staff and the English teachers to provide extra support for students. So this means teaching, this means running extracurricular activities, and generally making English more fun. As in Hong Kong, most schools, they take learning very seriously and mainly focus on passing exams, where, as we know, learning a language isn't all about passing an exam, it's about speaking and feeling confident speaking. So that's where Chatteris comes in and tries to make these experiences more fun and engaging, so students will want to participate and learn English further, so they can hopefully increase their grades. So this takes place by, again, in lessons, interactive workshops, tutorials, events outside of the classroom as well. And this may even be excursions. So in a couple of weeks, I'll be helping with an excursion to a local park where we'll be running outdoor activities for students so they can engage in English and experiential learning activity. So where did this teaching happen? This happens in our programs, which are split into primary, secondary, and we have one post-secondary program as well. So primary, you'll be working with students aged 5 to 11, whereas with secondary, you'll be working with students aged 12 to 18, which can be very rewarding as a recent graduate, as your age range should be quite close to the students you'll be teaching, meaning that you can get quite a fun relationship in the classroom out of that. But yeah, again, we do not require any prior teaching experience, just desire and passion to inspire young minds. And yeah, that's exactly what I came in with no prior teaching experience or qualifications in teaching. And I'm still here. So what else do? We have community programs as well. So we're not all about teaching within the classroom at school. You can give back to the broader local Hong Kong community. So we have a variety of community programs to support this, where you can run activities to help domestic workers who are also quite an underprivileged group in Hong Kong, as you can see in the picture in the bottom right. We also run environmental activities. So you can see the top left, we have some very excited litter pickers and bin pickers for Beach Clean to help improve the natural environment. But we also have other opportunities to further your teaching too. So we have a kindergarten program where our tutors can engage with students, the very, very little and small students who are very, very excitable in the kindergarten program, if that's something up your street. But yeah, we also work with other underprivileged communities, such as for students who have special educational needs. We run programs with those students and other students who may have come from disruptive backgrounds. So yeah, we have offer a lot more rather than just teaching the classroom. Also, we have Chatteris Love. So Chatteris Love is about supporting the broader Hong Kong community that Chatteris fosters. So this takes place through a variety of clubs. As you can see here, we have the Chatteris Explorers, the Hiking Club, Football Club, Dragon Boat Club, Yoga Club, Book Club, Surf Club, and there's, believe it or not, there's a lot more than that as well. This picture on the left is from the Chatteris Explorers, where tutors go out exploring Hong Kong. And this will be on stream hikes, where tutors will go and explore waterfalls, go kayaking, camping, coasteering. Whereas we have other activities that tutors may be interested in, like yoga or surf club. Chatteris Love also runs monthly excursions out into the broader Hong Kong. So we had a dragon dancing tutorial not so long ago, as well as holiday events like a Christmas lunch to really foster that community. And I'll just pass back over to Lucy to talk about some employee support.
Thank you, Luke. So we know that the move to Hong Kong for the majority of people is a very big move. And we want to ensure that our graduates and our tutors feel supported throughout that move and once they're settled in Hong Kong. So the first element of this is our loan scheme. So we have a financial loan scheme where interest-free loans are available to all employees upon arrival in Hong Kong to assist with setup costs such as housing deposits or furnishing apartments. These loans can be paid back monthly or at the end of your contract. And I'd say that most tutors, most graduates take out these loans each year. So if you do feel like you would need to take out these loans, do not feel like you're in the minority. We also have a dedicated wellbeing team, which is made up of our program managers, supported by some of our graduates as well, who help to run wellbeing events. And they can provide mental health first aid support. Many of the team are trained with mental health first aid and are on hand to offer any help and advice. We also partner with a local mental health service to offer a period of free sessions to those in need. So free counselling sessions to those who feel like they do need it. And what can you expect from us as a graduate on our programme? So our support ranges from pre-arrival to throughout the programme. And it begins with visa sponsorship and application on your behalf. So we will pay for your visa application and handle the application with the Hong Kong Immigration Department. In the run-up to your arrival, we deliver a series of webinars and send monthly newsletters. And we also have dedicated support staff to help with any queries that you may have. We'll also have a social media network of other graduates who are joining you in Hong Kong, and it means you can make friends and speak to each other before you arrive. Once you arrive in Hong Kong, you have that 3-week orientation period that Luke spoke about, and accommodation is provided during this time. During your training period, we will then offer financial and logistical help to support you in finding your accommodation for the remainder of the programme. You'll also have an assigned mentor to help you with settling in, and this will be one of our senior Chatteris tutors who has already lived in Hong Kong for at least a year and is able to offer any advice or guidance where needed. In terms of professional development, we have monthly professional development workshops and events throughout the year, and we also provide personal training and feedback sessions, and these come in the form of observations and reviews of your performance in school. We have career mentorship guided by myself as the recruitment manager, and we also have networking events such as our Chatteris Careers Evening, which is coming up next month. And here we host speakers from Hong Kong and beyond to speak and join with our tutors to learn more about kind of paths following Chatteris. We also have opportunities for career advancement within the organisation in either teaching or management capacities. So as you've seen from both myself and Luke, we progressed into management capacities within the organisation, but there's also opportunities within teaching too. In terms of personal development, we have an active social community of other recent graduates, and we also offer cultural immersion, such as Cantonese lessons and cultural workshops. We have our clubs and societies where you can develop your skills and interests and really mould your experience with us around your passions and what you enjoy doing. And then lastly, we have the welfare and emergency support that is available to all tutors. So here I'm sharing Susie's story. So Susie is a University of Edinburgh graduate. She graduated in 2021 after studying Chinese and linguistics, and then she joined us as a Chatteris tutor. She took the kind of quite typical route of then becoming a senior Chatteris tutor, and then this year she has progressed to become a program manager on our secondary program. So Susie joined Chatteris because she thought it seemed like a very welcoming organisation, and teaching English seemed like a fulfilling job with loads of opportunities to gain new skills. She also thought it would be a great chance to travel and see more of the world, particularly as COVID took away a lot of travelling from people. Post kind of restrictions being lifted, a lot of our graduates were very keen to move to a new country and see more of what the world has to offer. She feels she gained from the programme increased confidence, skills in public speaking, and in organisation. She's made lots of new friends and says that she's really cherished being able to spend time with these people in such a lively and vibrant place. And then for her best experience, she says that her time here has been made up of lots of small but meaningful experiences, such as finding a love for stream hiking with Luke, sharing dim sum with friends, and piecing together more and more about Hong Kong culture. So then why Hong Kong? We've spoken a lot about the programme itself, but why should you make Hong Kong your new home at the beginning of your international career journey? So Hong Kong is an international hub. It's known as Asia's World City, and people from all over the world call Hong Kong home. You get to meet new people, experience new cultures, and enjoy food from every corner of the globe. And I always say that you can find kind of the best version of every cuisine in Hong Kong. So I've had the best Japanese, the best Indian, the best American, the best French. There really is the kind of best food from every corner of the world. There's also vibrant city life. It really is a city that never sleeps. In my experience, more so than London or New York. And there's always something new happening in Hong Kong, and always things are open. So you can visit energetic night markets, go to karaoke bars, or look at the spectacular views from a rooftop terrace, such as the picture in the bottom right. There really is something for everyone. But if you prefer a slower pace, there is also the great outdoors. So a lot of people do not know that Hong Kong is actually 70% green space, and it really is more than just city life. We have amazing hiking trails, tropical beaches, and secluded waterfalls. So you'll have plenty of opportunities to relax and explore away from the hustle and bustle of the city. And you'll get a lot of time to explore Hong Kong at weekends, evenings, and in school holidays. And then I'm going to pass over to Luke for a cost breakdown, because Luke handles our flat hunting each year and is very informed on the logistical support that we offer for finding accommodation.
Thank you, Lucy. Yeah, so Hong Kong isn't the cheapest place in the world. Some of you may have seen on the headlines that it's one of the most expensive cities to live in the world, and primarily that's due to, I guess, bang for your buck when it comes to housing. Hong Kong is a very tight space, so there's not a lot of space in the flats, and this is reflected in the price as well for price per square foot. But in terms of flights to get to Hong Kong, so if you'll be flying from London, a round trip will cost around £700 if you book well in advance. And from New York City, this can be $900. But obviously, this price does fluctuate depending on when you book the flight, whether you're booking a return flight, among other factors. In terms of rent, so renting a place in Hong Kong will typically put you back around 5,000 to 6,000 Hong Kong dollars per month. If we convert this into pounds, this would be £500 and around £600 respectively. The conversion ratio is about, is it 1 to 10? Yeah, so £1 would be 10 Hong Kong dollars. Yeah, so but the lowest I've seen the tutor get their housing for is 400 Hong Kong dollars, but this can fluctuate. Some tutors pay a little bit more, around 7,000 Hong Kong dollars, so £700 a month. Some pay a little bit less. But the nice median, the Goldilocks range, is between 500 Hong Kong dollars and 6,000 Hong Kong dollars per month. So yeah, these prices are just approximates and are subject to change, but I do, yeah, I think it's good to do your own research when you're looking into these things as well. Look at the types of flats that you will be looking into this price range as well. But people's mileage may vary, but we are here to help you when you get to Hong Kong to find a flat for the tiny, small flats of your dreams. We will assist you in trying to find that flat. We have support in terms of, well, showing you where to go and look for flats. We also have Cantonese speakers who will help you negotiate with the landlords, and we'll also look over your contract for you as well. On top of that, we also have the interest-free loans available, which can help you with your deposits for housing and for general startup costs. So deposits for any for renting an apartment in Hong Kong is 2 months rent. But you will likely get this back at the end of your tenancy. From my experience, I haven't seen any landlord withhold this deposit. Obviously, mileage can vary. But yeah, the deposit is 2 months of rent. Other startup costs will generally be, when it comes to finding a flat, will be finding furniture. Most flats in Hong Kong are unfurnished. However, we do have tutors who have found furnished flats as well. But yeah, most flats, I would say, are unfurnished. There may be furniture associated with that, furniture costs. That being said, getting furniture can be quite easy in Hong Kong, as it's a very fast-paced city. There isn't the same bureaucracy that you'll find for example, in the UK, you can get a flat the same day you view it. You can view the flat, sign it, get the keys, and move in on the same day you view the flat, which is very fast paced. But this also means that people are trying to get rid of their furniture very quickly. So finding second-hand furniture can be quite quick and easy if you know where to look. For example, in my first year as a Chatteris tutor, I managed to find my bed, a table, wardrobe, and sofa, all for free, which is quite lucky. I think mentioning that I worked for a charity helped a bit as well, but there you go. So yeah, there are some costs associated with starting up your life in Hong Kong, but we are here to support you with the Chatteris loan and also any advice and tips when finding an apartment as well. I will pass over to Lucy, who will tell you about what we expect from you when joining our program.
Thank you, Luke. And in addition to the information that Luke gave about furnishing, Chatteris is also able to loan household items to our tutors. Most years we have items such as microwaves, kettles, bedding, pillows, which can really mitigate some of the costs with furnishing a new apartment. In terms of what we expect from you, we are looking for a university degree of any discipline. So you do not need to have a specific English degree or a teaching degree or Chinese or something related to Hong Kong or the role. We are looking for any discipline, just a bachelor's degree at minimum. We need you to have a very high level of English proficiency in order to best support these students. And we're also looking for you to have an interest in working with children, teenagers, young people. We want our graduates to have a really proactive and creative nature, and also an element of cultural sensitivity and openness. Cultural exchange is, of course, one of our values, and that goes both ways. We're not just looking for you to explore Hong Kong culture, but we also want you to share your culture and your interests with our students. So if you are interested in this opportunity and you're thinking about applying, there are 3 steps. So the first of those is your online application. So you'll find this on our website, and here you will answer 2 written questions. The first of these will be a scenario-based question based on some speaking activities that you would do with students. And the second is about your mentoring or leadership skills. And this is a really great place for those of you without any teaching or classroom experience to demonstrate where you have used or demonstrated those key skills that you need in the classroom, such as mentoring and leadership. After you've submitted the application, please email your CV and cover letter to the email address on the screen, and that will come directly to me. If you are then shortlisted for an interview, we have a 2-step interview process, and these will both take place via video call. First round interview will be with either myself or with a program manager, such as Luke. And then the second round interview will be again either with myself or a program director or with our CEO. And again, that will take place via video call. If you're successful, you'll then receive an offer to join us in August 2024. And we'll then start collecting supporting documents that are required both by Hong Kong schools and for your employment visa application. In terms of application tips, spelling and grammar is, of course, paramount. This is an English teaching program primarily, so we are looking for perfect use of written and spoken English. We want you to tell us why you want to join the program and what you will get out of it, but also what can you bring to us? For example, if you're really into something like music or sports, we really want to hear about that, because not only does it let your personality shine through, but it also informs our school placement for you. So if you are really interested in music and play a lot of instruments, we may be able to place you in a school that is also really interested in music education. And it means you really get to let your interests and your passions shine through in your work. We ask that you utilize our CV templates to ensure we are getting all of the required information from all applicants. And we also want you to research the organization and the role. You would be very surprised at the amount of times I have received applications from people who say they really want to join Chatteris because they've always wanted to work in Japan or they've always wanted to travel to Korea. And it just shows that they haven't researched the organization or the Hong Kong role sufficiently. For interviews, we ask you to dress smartly and arrive promptly. Just because it is a video call, we ask that you still carry the same standards as you would for an in-person interview. And we also recommend that you utilize the STAR technique, both in your application and in your interviews. And if you haven't had any experience with the STAR technique, please do contact your University Careers Service if you are still a student, and they will be able to provide support with this. The Instagram logo is included there in the bottom right, as if you head to our Instagram, which is Chatteris HK, you'll be able to find lots of hints and tips about how to apply and how to make your CV really stand out. And then lastly, you have heard a lot from myself and from Luke today, and we are, of course, here to encourage you to join our program. But you don't just need to take our word for it. You can also see what some of our tutors, past and present, think about the program. So Emily at the top, who was a primary tutor and then became a primary program manager, says that she initially joined Chatteris as a way to travel and explore for a year whilst using her skills to work for a charity and really make an impact. She then decided to stay for a second and eventually a third year when she realised that there were fantastic opportunities for her to professionally develop within the organisation. And this meant that her time with Chatteris was the start of her career and not just a prelude to it. We then have Jack, who was a secondary tutor and coincidentally Luke's housemate. And he says that you don't need to spend too much time hunting around in the graduate jobs market before you realise that a company such as Chatteris, which provides you with NGO and teaching experience, personal development opportunities, and a strong support network, is pretty hard to come by. So Jack puts us on quite a pedestal there in the kind of international jobs market. And then Lamia, who is a current secondary tutor, says that the benefits of working with Chatteris begin long before arriving in Hong Kong. From informative pre-arrival webinars, to assistance with finding accommodation, to catering to all dietary requirements during office lunches, the Chatteris staff always go the extra mile. And she says that commitment is one of the core values for a reason. So that is then the end of our presentation today. So please do follow us on social media. The Instagram is @ChatterisHK. And then on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, we are Chatteris Educational Foundation. And we'll now be opening up the Q&A. I can see there's quite a few questions in there already. But Andy will be joining us to host that Q&A.
Yes, we have quite a few to get through, so we'll crack on into them. We'll go with Haley says, so is this just for primary school teaching or can you do older groups?
So Luke, do you want to answer that one as a program manager?
Yeah, so we work with both primary schools students and also older students as well in secondary schools. So during the application process, you can choose your preference for either primary school students or secondary school students. But we do also have a post-secondary placement program where you can you can work with older students as well. However, there's only one spot for that position. So we primarily work with primary and secondary school age students.
Perfect. Okay. Alan, I know you're on about the relocation process, but do you assist with the relocation costs?
Yeah, so as we mentioned, we have that financial loan scheme. We have a housing loan, which is 9,000 Hong Kong dollars, equivalent to about £900. And then a assistant with setup costs, which is 6,000 Hong Kong dollars, or about £600. We do also provide a lot of logistical support with setting up. And as we mentioned, we have things like our household items loan scheme, and we do pay for the accommodation on arrival and for your employment visa as well. The cost of flights is for the graduate to pay, and then also accommodation for the remainder of the programme. But as Luke covered, we provide a lot of support with that logistically and financially. Okay, perfect.
Question from Kerry now. Hello, Kerry. What does the application window open, or when does the application window open each year? I'm only in my first year of uni, but I'm interested in this opportunity. And is there a register is there a register your interest option for future intakes? There we go.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kerry. So our applications open in September each year, and they work in phases, so kind of in line with university terms. So our current application window opened in September and will then close on the 6th of December. If you are a first year student that's interested in our opportunities, please do visit our website, and there's a contact box where you'll be able to fill out your details and send us an email. That will then come to me and I can add you to our mailing list.
Lovely. Is there any, well, you have the website link. Do you want to put the website link just in the webinar chat here, just for everyone here?
Yeah, of course.
Easy to access for everyone. I'll just go into the next question. Helen says, hello, Helen. I'm interested in this opportunity, but wanted to ask about partners. Is there any support for my partner if they come with me? Do you assist with employment as they wouldn't be on this scheme as they aren't a grad?
So that's a really interesting question. We do each year have a kind of mix of sometimes partners join the program together. Sometimes people move to Hong Kong with their partner who is then not on the program. And whilst we aren't able to offer any formal support for your partner, we are kind of able to suggest, any opportunities that we know are available, particularly if they are also within education. We could suggest kind of other teaching opportunities that we know are available or know are open, but we don't have kind of formal support in terms of supporting a partner. So that would be kind of yours and your partner's responsibility to carry out. But like I said, we can offer a kind of advisory or guidance in terms of opportunities for your partner, and it would be quite dependent on the type of industry that they are looking to work in.
Amazing. Question from Matt. Matt says, how many places are available each year, and how competitive is the selection process?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So the number of places that are available each year can change dependent on the number of partner schools that we are working with. So for some background, each year about 80% of our schools are returning partner schools that we have worked with before, and about 20% are new schools that have chosen to work with Chatteris after hearing great things about us. So it can change, and it's normally in the range of about 50 to 70 tutors on the program each year. In terms of how competitive the selection process is, to put it kind of numerically, we tend to have about 6 to 8 applicants for every position available.
That's decent. I think that's all right. Question from Jackson. Jackson, hello. Hello, Jackson. What's the typical career pathway for a student after the scheme ends, please?
Again, it's a very good question. So I would say it's split about 50% of our graduates after the program ends tend to stay within teaching or within education. And that is both in Hong Kong or perhaps in surrounding countries like Japan or South Korea, or back in a home country. So they tend to stay in education, either teaching or a PGCE, or perhaps with a similar kind of educational charity such as Chatteris. The next 25% tend to stay with Chatteris, either as a senior Chatteris tutor or in management capacities. And then the final 25% move into other career paths, largely communications, marketing, or quite a few will move into the kind of financial or insurance sector. And that's quite often people who are looking to stay in Hong Kong, as that is a very kind of big popular sector in Hong Kong.
Okay. Thank you. Lovely. Quite a question from Peter. Hello. Hi, Peter. I graduated 5 years ago. Will I still be eligible for this scheme?
So I feel like there's a lot of recruitment questions. Luke's not getting to answer as many of them. Yeah, we don't have an upwards limit. We don't have a set date for when we stop accepting people as graduates. So if you graduated 5 years ago, you are absolutely welcome to apply for the program. I would just ensure that your expectations align with a graduate scheme. Of course, the salary and the responsibilities and the work is aligned to an entry-level role and a graduate program. I don't think it was on the slides, but the salary is 17,000 Hong Kong dollars a month. And I checked it yesterday. The exchange rate currently puts that at £1,780 a month. But a real benefit to that is that that salary will very likely not be taxed. It currently falls below the tax threshold in Hong Kong. So unless anything changes within the next year or so, that salary is your entire take home each month. And it really does put you kind of in a better place than you would be, say, for example, working in the UK, which has a much higher tax threshold, or much lower tax threshold and higher tax amount.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Looks like Hong Kong is on the cards here for everyone. Why did you choose Chatteris? What sets it apart from other companies?
Yeah, it's a really good question as well. I guess I'll say kind of my part, and then we can hear from Luke as well. So for me, the thing that sets it apart is the kind of versatility and the way you are able to really kind of shape the experience for yourself. So speaking personally for me, I knew I was interested in marketing. When I joined Chatteris, I was doing a marketing qualification after graduating. And I was able to kind of use that both in the classroom and in other opportunities that Chatteris provides as well. So for example, I joined our blog team, I wrote for our newsletter, I created promotional materials for events, helped to organize events. and really did a lot of different things kind of outside of the classroom as well that contributed to my communications and marketing goals. And just the kind of the community feel that you get at Chatteris as well. There's a lot of teaching English abroad opportunities where you are, flown to a new country, placed in a school, and then that's kind of it. You're placed in your school, and then good luck for the rest of the year. Chatteris kind of continues the touch points throughout the year. We have ongoing training, ongoing development, and a lot of different opportunities to kind of come together as a group and explore everything that Hong Kong has to offer through our clubs and societies and our events. So we don't just enrich the experience for our students, but also for our graduates as well.
Wow. On the look.
I think it's hard to follow up with that answer. I think Lucy touched most of the bases. But yeah, I think why I chose Chatteris was because of, well, again, the support that they provide you, and they realize you get out what you put into it, right? But they give you a lot of opportunities to find what you're interested in and pursue that. So whilst Lucy went on to join the blog team, I joined the environmental leaders, and I went on to be the sustainability program manager, developing my own experiential learning activities to put forward and to deliver to students. So that's been my role as a program manager, but even as a role as a tutor, I had a lot of autonomy over what I delivered to students, and Chatter's always provided me a lot of support with what I wanted to do. Another example is the Chatteris Explorers Club. You've seen many pictures over these slides where there's tutors in beautiful places on top of mountains and waterfalls. That wasn't there before I joined. I started the club, and Chatteris has supported me with that, with a budget, and yeah, that's been very. I've been very grateful for that as well.
Amazing. Big up Chatteris. What is next for you both in your career? Big question.
Big question. I think for me, it will be to transition into another recruitment role where hopefully I can also include kind of some marketing in there. So perhaps recruitment for a marketing firm, or if I was at a recruitment agency handling marketing roles. As I mentioned, I kind of thought I wanted to work in marketing, and then I took on this role, which is recruitment and marketing, and I've found an absolute love for recruitment as well, particularly graduate recruitment. I really enjoy kind of going to universities and working with graduates and collaborating on graduate recruitment. So I think that is the path for me, either within, recruitment within education, marketing, ideally kind of at a university, I think would be the end goal.
Okay, very nice.
For me, I'd like to stay in sustainability. Yeah, I have a love for environment and sustainability, and there's a lot to do in Hong Kong, so I'd like to stay in Hong Kong, contributing to that where I can.
Very nice. Very good answer. I'm trying to think of other questions. How about obviously, what was it like for moving out obviously to Hong Kong, have that being away, that homesickness? I'm sure you've experienced it. How did you sort of overcome that feeling?
Luke, do you want to start off?
Sure. Yeah, I had never really stayed or moved long term to a different country before moving to Hong Kong, and it was quite a strange experience having that take place just after the unrest in Hong Kong, and also COVID moving in. It was quite a strange experience, but I think what helped me the most was, well, regular contact with the parents and friends, family. The internet in Hong Kong is very good, so you can have video calls. I'm calling from Hong Kong now. It seems pretty stable. And also, I think just putting myself into the culture and like really going headfirst into whatever opportunities came to me. So yeah, visiting the beaches on the weekend, trying new activities. So I do a bit of wakeboarding now, on top of any other, I guess, outdoorsy things. And yeah, experiencing the culture, going to the temples, going to any like workshops that pop up. And also, I guess, the community as well that Chatteris provides. Being with 60 other fresh graduates who are going through the same process as you, and at a similar stage in your life and have similar interests, it helped me a lot, like having that tight-knit group of friends from the get-go. So yeah, a lot of contributing factors helped it go a bit easier.
Fair, lovely.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think having that kind of Chatteris community and having other graduates that are in the same kind of situation and same place as you really helps kind of throwing yourself into a new city. I always get worried answering this question because so my boyfriend already lived in Hong Kong, so I didn't have as much kind of, I wasn't as homesick, or I didn't have that feeling of kind of being somewhere new completely alone. Having him living there. So my answer for that question is never as helpful as it could be. But absolutely kind of having that Chatteris community and just saying yes to every opportunity and every experience that comes your way as well. We've only lived here for kind of a short amount of time in the grand scheme of things, kind of 2, 3, 4 years, but have probably fit like a lifetime's worth of activities and events and hobbies and new things into that time, because Hong Kong really is kind of so versatile and so diverse, and there is so much to do that I don't think you could be bored even if you tried.
Wow. That is a good way to promote Hong Kong as well. Obviously, as I said at the start, what I like to usually do is ask you guys for any final words of advice for the people of the webinar who've joined. So, well, obviously it depends what your time zone is, but who've joined so early in the morning to, obviously maybe be part of Chartis in the future. So have you got any final words of advice that you can give them to maybe spur them on to apply for Chatteris?
Yeah, of course. I would say just to kind of, if you have even an inkling that traveling abroad after graduation is what you would like to do, I would say take that opportunity with both hands and really just throw yourself into it. There can be a lot of nerves and a lot of worries, but I think you really will kind of develop so much and grow so much as a person and learn that you are capable of so much that the nerves just kind of fall away after, a very short amount of time. So yeah, if you have even the smallest thought that it is something that you would like to do, I think you really should go for it. And even if it is just for the program year, even if it is just for a short amount of time, the development and the growth and the opportunities that then come from that are enormous and can really benefit you in the long term.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's another good response, Lucy. I'm not sure I'm going to follow that up again. But yeah, just to echo what Lucy said, like if you have even the slightest itch to experience the world, I think coming to Hong Kong and even working for Chatteris, if you want to work with Chatteris, definitely do it. Hong Kong's like it's often referred to as the gateway to Asia, and I think teaching and directly impacting underprivileged children isn't a bad way to travel as well. But in terms of like the application process or anything like that, just be yourself, show your creativity, show your enthusiasm, and I think you have a pretty strong chance of joining the team.
Amazing. 2 great responses. Thank goodness they are recorded, because I'm sure people will want to listen back to that again, especially your higher ups. So thank you everyone for joining. Of course, we have had quite an insightful webinar, and I think I want to move to Hong Kong by the looks of it. I'm sure many of us here in the webinar do as well. So remember to get applying. The links are in the chat, and yeah, stay at it if you want to move. Of course, I'm sure you can follow the social medias if you need any questions asked. I'm sure you can ask Luke or Lucy to get in touch with them. Remember, it'll be up on our YouTube, on our website if you want to watch it back. Lucy, Luke, if you want to go watch yourselves again, maybe put in your show reel, up to you. Or write down your quotes, get them trademarked. And yeah, hopefully see you in the next one, and have a nice rest of the week and a nice rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Chatteris.
Thank you very much for having us, and thank you everyone.
It's our pleasure. Thank you very much. Cheerio.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya.